The rescue mission began at dawn. General Kim's soldiers found So Young and Hyunwoo in a small village near the mountains. Instead of fighting, the soldiers came with a message. "The alien child is dying without you," the soldier told So Young. "General Kim requests your help to save her and possibly save Earth." So Young did not hesitate. "Take me to her now." The helicopter ride to the facility felt like the longest journey of So Young's life. Through the window, she could see military bases preparing for something terrible. Soldiers were loading weapons, fighter jets were taking off. The whole world was getting ready for war. "How bad is she?" So Young asked Dr. Yoon when they arrived. "Very bad," the scientist replied honestly. "She has not eaten in 3 days. She barely drinks water. I think she is giving up on living." They walked quickly through the facility corridors. When So Young saw Zara through the observation window, her heart broke. The little alien girl looked so small and sick. She was lying on the floor of her cold cell, not moving. "Open the door," So Young ordered. "Ma'am, there are safety protocols," a guard said. "Open the door now, or I will break it down myself." The door clicked open. So Young ran inside and knelt beside Zara. The child's silver eyes opened slowly when she heard So Young's voice. "Amma?" Zara whispered. Her voice was so weak and quiet. "Yes, little star, I am here. I am so sorry it took me so long to find you." Zara tried to sit up, but she was too weak. So Young lifted her carefully and held her close. The alien child felt cold and fragile, like she might break. "I thought you forgot about me," Zara said, tears falling down her pale cheeks. "Never," So Young promised. "I could never forget you. You are my daughter, remember? Daughters and mothers never forget each other?" For the first time in 10 days, Zara smiled. It was weak and small, but it was real. Dr. Yoon watched from the doorway, tears in her own eyes. "I was wrong," she said quietly. "This child is not a subject to be studied. She is a person who needs love." Over the next few hours, Zara began to recover. She drank some water and ate a little food, but she was still very weak. The stress of separation and imprisonment had hurt her badly. "There is something else," General Kim told So Young. "We received a message from her real parents. They want to come to Earth to get her." Zara heard this and became excited. "My birth parents are alive? Velther and Salandra are really alive?" "Yes," General Kim said, "but there is a problem. The Korth ships will arrive in less than 48 hours. If the Veltai ships come to Earth now, they will be flying into a battle." That afternoon, Mireille and Dr. Ji-hoon arrived at the facility. They brought news that made everyone afraid. "The Korth scouts are already in our solar system," Mireille reported. "Our deep space sensors detected 12 advanced ships near Mars. The main fleet is still coming, but the scouts are moving toward Earth very fast." "How long do we have?" General Kim asked. "Maybe 12 hours before the scouts arrive. 24 hours before the main Korth fleet gets here." Zara listened to this news with growing fear. "They came because of me," she said sadly. "The Korth followed my escape pod here. This is all my fault." "No, little star," So Young said firmly. "This is not your fault. You were just trying to survive. The fault belongs to the bad people who chase innocent children across the galaxy." Dr. Ji-hoon had been working on his computer. "I have been analyzing the Veltai ship records. I found something important. The Korth have a weakness." "What kind of weakness?" General Kim asked. "Their ships are very strong, but they depend on a central command vessel to coordinate attacks. If we can destroy the command ship, the rest of their fleet becomes confused and vulnerable." "But how do we identify the command ship?" Hyunwoo asked. Zara raised her small hand. "I know," she said quietly. "My father taught me about Korth ships when I was very little. The command ship is always the biggest one, and it stays in the back during battles." General Kim looked at this brave alien child who had lost everything but was still trying to help save Earth. "Zara," he said gently, "would you be willing to help us communicate with your parents? We need their help to fight the Korth." Zara nodded. "Yes, but I want to stay with my Amma too." "Can both my families be together?" So Young felt her heart swell with love and sadness. This child, who had been through so much, still believed that love could solve everything. "We will find a way," So Young promised. The communication with the Voltai ships was arranged quickly. Using the same equipment that had first contacted them, Zara spoke to her birth parents for the first time since her escape pod left their ship. The conversation was in the Voltai language, but Mireille translated the important parts. Zara's parents were overjoyed to hear her voice. They had mourned her as dead for months. "They want to come get her immediately," Mireille reported. "But they are afraid the Korth will attack Earth if all the Voltai ships approach together." "Tell them about our plan," General Kim said. "Tell them we want to work together to defeat the Korth once and for all." The negotiation that followed was the most important in human history. Earth offered its military strength and weapons. The Voltai offered their advanced technology and knowledge of Korth weaknesses. Together they might be strong enough to win, but the Korth scouts arrived before the plan was complete. The first attacks came at sunset. 12 dark ships appeared in Earth's atmosphere and began scanning major cities. They were looking for Zara, but they were also studying human defenses. "They are testing us," Dr. Ji-hoon said as he watched the radar screens. "The scouts are reporting back to the main fleet." General Kim made a decision that showed the best of human nature. Instead of hiding Zara, he authorized a broadcast to the Korth ships. Zara would speak to them directly. "Are you sure about this?" So Young asked. "They might try to take her?" "Maybe," General Kim replied. "But they might also listen to what she has to say." Zara sat in front of the communication equipment, looking very small but very brave. So Young held her hand for support. "Korth ships," Zara said in her own language. "I am the Voltai child you are hunting. I am here on Earth with people who have become my family. These humans are not your enemies. They are good people who protect children, even alien children." The response came quickly. A harsh voice speaking in the Korth language. Mireille translated with a frightened expression. "They say they do not care about human goodness. They want you to surrender, or they will destroy this world to get you." Zara's silver eyes filled with determination. "Then tell them this," she said. "Tell them that humans do not abandon their children, and neither do the Voltai. If they want me, they will have to fight both our peoples together." At that moment, the Voltai refugee ships appeared in Earth's sky. 12 beautiful crystal vessels, shining like stars as they took positions around the planet. Zara's parents had decided to risk everything to protect their daughter and her new home. The battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Human fighter jets flew alongside alien crystal ships. Earth's missiles and the Voltai's energy weapons combined to fight the Korth scouts. The Korth scouts were powerful, but they had not expected such cooperation between species. They were designed to fight one type of enemy at a time, not a united force of humans and aliens working together. One by one, the scout ships were destroyed. But everyone knew this was just the beginning. The main Korth fleet was still coming. That night, as repair crews worked on damaged ships, something beautiful happened. A small Voltai shuttle landed at the military facility. 2 figures in crystalline environment. Suits stepped out. Velther and Salandra had come for their daughter. The reunion was emotional beyond words. Zara ran to her birth parents and hugged them tightly, speaking rapidly in her native language. But then she turned back to So Young with worried eyes. These are my first parents," she said in Korean. "But you are also my I do not want to choose." So Young knelt down to Zara's level. Through Mireille's translation, she spoke to Velther and Salandra. "Your daughter saved my life by teaching me what it means to love someone completely. She is a bridge between our peoples now. If you are willing, I would be honored to share the responsibility of raising her." Velther and Salandra looked at this human woman who had risked everything to protect their child. They saw the love in her eyes and the trust in Zara's face. When she looked at So Young, "She is fortunate to have 2 mothers who love her," Velther said through the translator. "We would be honored to share our daughter with you." The main Korth fleet arrived 18 hours later. 47 warships, massive and dark against the stars. But they found something they had never encountered before. Two species standing together, ready to fight for a child they both loved. The battle was fierce and terrible. Many ships were lost on both sides. But the combined human Veltai fleet found the Korth command vessel and destroyed it, just as Dr. Ji-hoon had predicted. Without their central coordinator, the Korth fleet fell into chaos. The surviving Korth ships retreated into deep space, defeated by something they could not understand. The power of two different peoples choosing to protect one small child. The answer came from space 3 days later. A signal so beautiful that it made everyone cry. Voltai voices singing back to Zara, confirming that her people were alive and hiding near Jupiter. But with the joy came terrible fear. The same signal that connected Zara to her family also revealed their location to every government on Earth. 12 Voltai ships, Mireille said as she read the data. Small refugee vessels with maybe 50 people on each one. They have been hiding behind Jupiter's moons, afraid to come closer. Zara was crying with happiness. My mother Salandra is alive, my father Velther too. They thought I was dead. But their happiness ended quickly. The cave entrance exploded. Inward as soldiers blasted through. Commander Park led the attack, his face hard with determination. Behind him came agents from many countries, all wanting to capture the alien child. Surrender now, Commander Park ordered. We know about the alien ships. This is now a matter of global security. So Young pulled Zara behind her. You will not take her. Agent So Young, I trained you, Commander Park said sadly. Do not make me hurt you. The battle was fast and desperate. Han Wu and Mireille fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. Dr. Ji-hoon tried to destroy the communication equipment, but the soldiers stopped him. In the chaos, So Young and Zara were separated. Amma! Zara screamed as soldiers grabbed her small arms. Zara! So Young tried to reach her, but more soldiers blocked her way. They took Zara away in a helicopter. So Young watched helplessly as the aircraft disappeared into the sky, carrying away the child she loved more than her own life. Captain Tae-min was arrested that same day. Government investigators found evidence that he had helped So Young's team escape. They charged him with treason and locked him in a military prison. But before they took him away, he managed to send one last message to an old friend, General. Kim was one of the highest-ranking officers in the Korean military. He was also a wise man who understood that some things were more important than following orders. When he received Captain Taemin's message about the Korth threat, he began his own secret investigation. Meanwhile, Zara was taken to a secure government facility in the mountains. Dr. Yoon was in charge of studying her. The scientist had orders to learn everything about Voltai technology and the alien threat to Earth, but Zara was not the same happy child anymore. Being separated from So Young made her very sick. She refused to eat. She would not speak to anyone. She just sat in her cold cell, staring at the walls with empty silver eyes. The subject is not cooperating, Dr. Yoon reported to her supervisors. She appears to be suffering from depression and stress. Make her cooperate, came the reply. Use whatever methods are necessary. Dr. Yoon looked at the small alien child through the observation window. Zara looked so young and helpless. For the first time, the scientist began to question what they were doing. She is just a child, Dr. Yoon said to her assistant. Maybe we are wrong to treat her this way. She is an alien, the assistant replied. She is not human, but she has feelings. She loves and grieves just like a human child. Dr. Yoon tried different approaches to get Zara to talk. She offered toys and games. She played music. She even tried to make the room warmer, thinking Zara might be too cold. Nothing worked. Zara just sat quietly, tears falling from her silver eyes. Meanwhile, the discovery of the Voltai ships caused panic around the world. Some governments wanted to attack the alien vessels immediately. Others wanted to try communication. The United Nations held emergency meetings, but no one could agree on what to do. Dr. Ji-hoon and Mireille, who had been released but were being watched closely, tried to convince world leaders about the real threat. The Korth are coming, Dr. Ji-hoon said at a secret briefing. We have maybe 2 months before they arrive. The Veltai refugees are not our enemies. They could be our allies against a much worse threat. But many officials did not believe them. How do we know this is not an invasion plan? Asked one American general. The alien child could be lying about everything. She is 8 years old, Murray said angrily. Children do not plan interstellar invasions. So Young and Hyun-woo had escaped during the cave battle, but they were now the most wanted criminals in the world. They hid in safe houses, trying to find a way to rescue Zara. Every day that passed, So Young felt like part of her heart was being torn away. I promised her I would keep her safe, So Young told Hyun-woo. I failed her. No, Hyun-woo replied. You showed her what love means. You gave her a family. That is not failure. On the 10th day of Zara's imprisonment, something happened that changed everything. The facility's sensors detected massive energy readings from space. Long-range telescopes showed new ships approaching the solar system. Ships that matched the Korth descriptions perfectly. How many? General Kim asked when he received the report. 47 vessels, came the reply. Much larger than the Veltai refugee ships. And they are moving fast. General Kim immediately flew to the facility where Zara was being held. He needed to understand the true threat to Earth. When he saw Zara through the observation window, he was shocked. The child looked terrible. She was thin and pale, even for a Veltai. Her silver hair had lost its shine. She sat curled in a corner, not moving or speaking. What have you done to her? General Kim asked Dr. Yoon. We have not hurt her physically, Dr. Yoon replied, but she will not eat properly. She keeps calling. For someone named I think that means mother in Korean. Agent So Young, General Kim said quietly. She bonded with the human who saved her. The subject needs the human woman to survive? Dr. Yoon asked. No, General Kim corrected. The child needs her mother to live. That afternoon, General Kim made a decision that would be remembered forever. He authorized a rescue mission to bring So Young to the facility, not as a prisoner, but as Zara's guardian. Sir, this goes against all protocols, his aide warned. Protocols will not save us from the Korth, General Kim replied. But maybe a mother's love for her child will give us the alliance we need. Meanwhile, at the Veltai refugee ships near Jupiter, Zara's real parents were making their own desperate plans. They had heard their daughter's song and knew she was alive on Earth, but they also detected the approaching Korth fleet. We must get to our daughter, Velther told the other Veltai leaders. The Korth will use her to track us if she remains on Earth. It is too dangerous, replied another refugee. The humans might attack us if we approach their world. Then we send a message, Salandra said. We offer the humans an alliance. Together we might be strong enough to defeat the Korth. The message was sent to Earth using the same frequency that Zara had used to contact them. It was simple but powerful. We want to help you fight the Korth. In return, please keep our daughter safe until we can come for her. When General Kim received this message, he understood that Earth's fate was connected to a small alien child who just wanted to be with her families. Both alien and human. The rescue mission to bring So Young to Zara was planned for the next day. But time was running out faster than anyone realized. The Korth scout ships were already entering the outer solar system. Soon, the universe would discover what happened when someone threatened a child that both humans and aliens had chosen to love. The price of protection was about to be paid in full, but first a mother needed to be reunited with her daughter. Because sometimes love really could save the world. They had been hiding in mountain caves for 2 weeks. So Young watched Zara sleep in the cold darkness. The alien child looked thinner now. The stress of constantly running was making her sick. Even with the temperature as cold as they could make it, Zara was not as healthy as before. We cannot keep living like this, So Young whispered to Hyun-woo. She needs proper care. I know, Hyun-woo replied quietly. But where can we go? They are searching everywhere. Dr. Ji-hoon looked up from his computer. He had been working day and night to understand the data from Zara's crystal chip. His eyes were red from lack of sleep, but his face showed excitement. "I made a breakthrough," he said. "I was able to translate some of the ship records." "So young. Henwu, you need to hear this." He showed them images on his screen. Pictures of beautiful crystal ships traveling through space, but also pictures of destruction, planets burning, ships exploding. "The Veltai are refugees," Dr. Ji-hoon explained. "They have been running from the Korth for over 300 years. The Korth are not just attackers. They are conquerors who destroy entire civilizations." "What do they want?" So Young asked. "Everything. They take the knowledge and technology from the people they defeat. Then they use it to become stronger and attack the next civilization." Zara woke up when she heard them talking. She came over and looked at the pictures on the screen. When she saw images of her people's ships being destroyed, she started to cry. "That is my home," she whispered. "That is what happened to my family." So Young held her close. "I am sorry, little star." But Dr. Ji-hoon had more terrible news. There is something else. According to these records, the Korth have been tracking Zara's escape pod. They know it came to Earth. "What does that mean?" Han-woo asked, though he already feared the answer. "It means they are coming here. The Korth are coming to Earth." The cave became very quiet. The weight of this news settled on all of them like a heavy stone. "How long do we have?" So Young asked. "Based on their ship speeds recorded here, maybe 3 to 4 months?" Zara looked up at So Young with her silver eyes full of fear. "I brought the bad people to your world. This is my fault." "No," So Young said firmly. "You are just a child. This is not your fault." But Zara was very upset. "My people always brought danger wherever we went. Now I brought danger to Earth, to you." That night, while Zara slept, the 3 adults talked about what to do. They had an impossible choice. They could give Zara to the governments and maybe convince them about the Korth threat. Or they could try to keep her safe but let Earth be surprised when the aliens arrived. "We have to tell someone," Hyun-woo said. "Earth needs to prepare." "But if we reveal ourselves, they will take Zara away," So Young replied. "They will use her as a weapon or an experiment." Dr. Ji-hoon had been very quiet. Finally he spoke. "There might be another way. I found something else in the ship records. Communication signals. I think there are other Veltai ships hiding in our solar system." "What?" So Young was amazed. "Look at this data. There are electromagnetic patterns that match Veltai technology. But the signals are very weak and hidden. I think survivors from Zara's ship are out there, afraid to show themselves." "Can we contact them?" Hyun-woo asked. "Maybe, but I need better equipment. And we would need to find a way to broadcast without the Earth governments detecting us." The next morning brought a new problem. A woman named Mira arrived at their cave. She was alone and carrying a white flag. So Young and Hyun-woo were ready to fight, but the woman called out peacefully. "I am Agent Mire from the cryptography department. I am not here to capture you. I want to help." "Why should we trust you?" So Young asked. "Because I've been listening to radio signals from space, and I know that something terrible is coming. To Earth?" Murit was an expert at breaking codes and understanding strange communications. She had been working secretly to decode alien signals that government satellites had detected. 3 days ago, I picked up transmissions that match the technology in your crystal chip," she told Dr. Ji-hoon. "There are definitely Voltai ships in our solar system. But there is something else. Long-range scans show other ships approaching. Ships that match the Korth descriptions in your data." Zara became very excited when she learned about the other Veltai survivors. "My parents might be alive?" "It is possible," Murray said gently. "But we need to be very careful how we contact them." Over the next few days, Mireille and Dr. Ji-hoon worked together to build a communication device. They used parts from their equipment and knowledge from Zara's ship records. Zara helped by remembering songs and patterns that her people used to identify each other. "Voltai ships always respond to the Song of Stars," Zara explained. It tells them that friends are calling, she sang the song for them. It was beautiful and sad, with notes that seemed to echo forever. Murray recorded it and built it into their communication signal, but as they worked, their situation became more dangerous. Commander Park's search teams were getting closer. Worse, international agents were now working together to find them. The whole world wanted the alien child. We are running out of time, Hyun-woo warned. They will find us soon. That evening, Zara made a decision that broke So-young's heart. The little alien girl came to her with tears in her silver eyes. I want to give myself to the bad people. What? No, Zara, never. But if I do not, the Korth will hurt everyone on Earth. Maybe if I go with the Earth governments, I can help them prepare for the bad aliens. So-young knelt down and held Zara's small hands. Listen to me, little star. You are not responsible for saving the world. You are just a child, my child. And I will never let anyone hurt you. But I love Earth now, Zara said. I love you and Han-woo and Dr. Ji-hoon and Mireille. I do not want the Korth to destroy your beautiful world. Then we find another way, So-young said firmly. We contact your people, we work together. But we do not sacrifice children, never. Han-woo had been listening. He came over and knelt down next to them. So-young is right, Zara, but I have an idea. What if we do not have to choose between protecting you and protecting Earth? What do you mean? So-young asked. What if we help your people and our people work together to fight the Korth? Humans are very good at fighting. And the Veltai have technology we need. Together we might be strong enough to win. Zara's eyes lit up with hope. You would fight the Korth? Even though they are very dangerous? Yes, Hyun-woo said. Because that is what families do. They protect each other. And you are part of our family now. Dr. Ji-hoon looked up from his equipment. The communication device is ready. If there are Voltai ships out there, we can try to contact them tonight. And if they answer? So-young asked. Then we find out if humans and aliens can work together to save both our peoples. As the sun set behind the mountains, they prepared for the most important communication in human history. Zara sat next to the radio equipment, ready to sing the Song of Stars to her people. Are you ready, little star? So-young asked. Zara nodded. I am ready, Oma. Let us call my family home. The signal went out into the darkness of space, carrying a child's song and humanity's first message to the stars. Somewhere out there, alien ships were listening. And somewhere else, enemy ships were coming closer to Earth, but in that cave, surrounded by people who loved her, an alien child sang to the stars and hoped that love could be stronger than fear, that families could be stronger than enemies, and that humanity's greatest strength was not its weapons, but its willingness to protect the innocent, no matter where they came from. The alarm woke So-young at 5 in the morning. Red lights flashed in the hallways of the facility. Soldiers were running everywhere. She grabbed Zara and held her close. What is happening? Zara asked, her silver eyes wide with fear. I do not. No, So-young replied, but she had a bad feeling. Captain Taemin burst into the room. His face was angry and worried. We have a problem. Agent Dong Hyun sold information about Zara to foreign governments. There are American, Chinese, and Russian agents coming here. What? So-young could not believe it. He betrayed his own country? Money makes people do terrible things, Captain Taemin said. But that is not the worst part. My old Commander Park is leading a joint task force. They will be here in 2 hours. So-young knew Commander Park. He had trained her when she first joined the ISI. He was a good man, but very strict about following orders. He would take Zara away without question. We have to leave now, So-young said. Yes, Captain Taemin agreed. I am officially marking your team as rogue agents. This will protect you from direct military action, but it also means you are on your own. Hyun-woo arrived with Dr. Ji-hoon. They had backpacks full of supplies and equipment. The truck is ready, Hyun-woo said. But where can we go? They will search everywhere. I know a place, Dr. Ji-hoon said quietly. There is an old research station in the mountains. No one has used it for years. They moved quickly through the facility. Zara stayed close to So Young, holding her hand tightly. As they reached the exit, they heard helicopters in the distance. "They are early," Captain Tayman said. "Run!" The truck bounced over the rough mountain roads. Zara sat in the back with So Young. Looking very small and scared, Dr. Ji-hoon drove while Hyun-woo watched for signs of pursuit. "Are we the bad people now?" Zara asked So Young. "No, little star," So Young replied. "We are protecting you from the bad people. Sometimes good people have to break rules to do what is right." After 2 hours of driving, they reached the old research station. It was hidden in a deep valley between tall mountains. The building was old but still strong. Dr. Ji-hoon led them inside and showed them where they could hide. "This place was used to study weather patterns," he explained. "It has its own power source and communication equipment. We can stay here for a while." They made Zara's room very cold, just like she needed. She seemed happier once the temperature dropped, but she was still worried about the people who were chasing them. "Why do they want me so much?" she asked. Dr. Ji-hoon sat down next to her. "Your people have technology that we do not understand, ships that can travel between stars, machines that can keep you alive in space. Some humans want to steal that knowledge." "I do not know about machines," Zara said sadly. "I am just a child. My parents never taught me about the ship computers." But you remember things," Hyun-woo said gently. "Things that might help us understand your people." Over the next few days, Zara began to share memories of her life on the Valtai ships. She drew pictures of her home using crayons that So Young found in the old station. The drawings showed beautiful crystal cities inside huge ships. Her people lived in harmony with ice and cold. "We traveled from world to world," Zara explained, "always looking for new ice planets where we could live. But the Korth followed us everywhere." "Tell us about the Korth," Dr. Ji-hoon asked. Zara's face became very sad. "They are the devourers. They take everything from other people, knowledge, technology, even life. My father said they have been chasing my people for many generations." One evening, while Zara was sleeping, Dr. Ji-hoon made an amazing discovery. He had been studying data from Zara's crystal pod. Hidden inside the crystal was a tiny computer chip. "This contains star maps," he told So Young and Hyun-woo excitedly. "Routes between different worlds. And there is something else. Communication. Protocols. Ways to contact other Valtai ships. Are there other survivors?" So Young asked. "I think so. But I need more time to understand the technology." Their quiet life in the research station ended on the 5th day. Hyun-woo was on watch when he saw vehicles coming up the mountain road. Military trucks and helicopters were approaching fast. "They found us," he called to the others. Commander Park's voice came over a loudspeaker. "Agent So Young, Agent Hyun-woo, Dr. Ji-hoon, you are surrounded. Release the alien subject and surrender peacefully." "Subject?" So Young was angry. "Her name is Zara, and she is not a subject." Zara ran to So Young and hugged her tightly. "I do not want to go with them, Amma." "You will not have to," So Young promised. But they were trapped. Soldiers surrounded the building. There was no way to escape in the truck. That was when Zara surprised everyone. "I can help," she said quietly. "I can sense things that you cannot." "What do you mean?" Hyun-woo asked. Zara closed her silver eyes and stood very still. "I can feel the electromagnetic fields from their radios and machines. I know where each person is standing. There is a path through the rocks that they have not watched." So Young looked at this amazing child. "Can you guide us?" "Yes, Amma, but we must be very quiet and very careful." They left the research station. Through a back window, Zara led them between the rocks and trees, moving like a ghost in the darkness. Her ability to sense electromagnetic fields was incredible. She knew exactly where the soldiers were without seeing them. "This way," she whispered. Pointing to a narrow path between two large stones, they followed her for over an hour, climbing higher into the mountains. Behind them, they could hear Commander Park's men searching the research station. When they realized their targets had escaped, the helicopters began flying search patterns. How did they find us so fast? So Young wondered. Dong Haiyan must have given them more information than we thought, Haiyan Wu replied. They found shelter in a small cave as the sun began to rise. Zara was tired from using her special abilities, but she had saved them all. So Young held her close as she slept. She is remarkable, Dr. Jihoon said softly. Her people must have evolved these abilities over thousands of years. All I care about is keeping her safe, So Young replied. Haiyan Wu was looking at his radio. Equipment. I am getting a message from Captain Taemin. He says the international task force is getting bigger. More countries want Zara now, and there is something else. What? They detected some kind of signal coming from space. Something responded when Dr. Jihoon activated the crystal chip. They think it might be other Veltai ships? So Young felt hope and fear at the same time. If Zara's people were out there, maybe they could help her, but it also meant more danger. More people who would want to capture Zara to use her as a bargaining chip. She looked down at the sleeping child in her arms. Zara looked so peaceful now, but So Young knew their troubles were just beginning. The hunt for the alien child was spreading across the world. Soon, there would be nowhere left to hide, but So Young had made a promise. She would protect this child no matter what. Even if it meant fighting the whole world to do it. As the morning light filled the cave, Zara opened her silver eyes and smiled. At So Young, "Good morning, Amma." "Good morning, little star," So Young whispered back. Outside, the helicopters continued their search. But for this moment, in this small cave, a human woman and an alien child held each other close and found strength in their love. The hunt was just beginning, but so was their fight back. 3 days passed since they found the alien child. So Young barely left the room where the crystal pod was kept. She brought food and ate while watching the small figure inside. The child seemed to be getting stronger. Her skin was less pale now that Dr. Jihoon had made the room very cold. "You need to sleep," Haiyan Wu told So Young. "You cannot help her if you make yourself sick." "She wakes up scared when I am not here," So Young replied. "Look at her. She is so small and alone." It was true. When So Young left the room, the child became restless. She would press her hands against the crystal and make soft crying sounds. But when So Young returned, the child would calm down immediately. Dr. Jihoon was amazed by how fast the child learned. On the second day, she began copying sounds that So Young made. Simple words like hello and safe came from her lips, though they sounded different in her musical voice. "Her brain is incredible," Dr. Jihoon explained to Captain Taemin. "She learns new words every hour. I think her people are much more intelligent than humans." "That makes her more valuable," Captain Taemin said, "and more dangerous." On the 4th day, something important happened. Dr. Jihoon found a way to open the crystal pod safely. The child could breathe their air now, as long as the room stayed very cold. When the crystal shell opened with a soft sound, the child sat up slowly. She was even smaller than they thought. Maybe the size of an 8-year-old human child. Her silver hair fell to her shoulders like water. Her skin was smooth and pale blue, like ice in moonlight. She wore a simple white dress that seemed to be made from the same crystal material as her pod. "Hello," So Young said softly. She held out her hand. The child looked at the hand for a long moment. Then, very carefully, she reached out and touched So Young's fingers. Her hand was cold but soft. She smiled and said something in her own language. "What?" "Did she say?" Haiyan Wu asked. "I do not know yet," So Young replied, "but I think she said thank you." Over the next few days, the child learned to speak simple Korean words. She was very smart and very curious. She asked questions about everything. She saw, "What is this?" became her favorite phrase. So Young taught her the names of objects: table, chair, water, food. The child repeated each word carefully, trying to get the sounds right. When she succeeded, she would clap her hands and laugh. Her laugh was like music. "What is your name?" So Young asked one day. The child tilted her head. She spoke several words in her own language. The sounds were beautiful but impossible for humans to make. That is too hard for us to say, So Young told her. Can we give you a Korean name? The child nodded. She understood. How about Zara? So Young suggested. It means bright star. The child smiled widely. Zara, she repeated. I am Zara. As Zara learned more words, she began to tell them about herself. Her people were called the Veltai. They lived on ships that traveled between cold worlds. Zara's ship had been attacked by bad people called the Korth. Her parents put her in the crystal pod to save her. Where are your parents now? So Young asked gently. Zara's eyes filled with tears. Gone, she whispered, all gone. Korth took them. So Young felt her heart break. She pulled Zara into a hug. The child was cold against her, but she hugged back. Tightly. You are not alone, So Young promised. We will take care of you. Zara looked up at her with those beautiful silver eyes. You are like to me, she said. So Young was surprised. You know that word? I learned from watching, Zara said. Human children say to the woman who loves them. You love me. So you are my So Young felt tears in her own eyes now. This alien child, so far from her home and family, was calling her mother. It was the most beautiful and heartbreaking thing she had ever heard, but their happiness did not last long. On the 7th day, a new person arrived at the facility. Agent Dong Hyen was an ambitious man who worked for the ISI. He was always looking for ways to make himself more important. Why was I not told about this discovery? He demanded when he saw Zara. The operation was classified, Captain Taemin replied. Not anymore, Dong Hyen said. I know about the alien child, and I know that she has valuable information about space technology. Dong Hyen looked at Zara like she was a treasure, not a person. Zara hid behind So Young when she saw his hungry eyes. She is just a child, So Young said. She is an alien with knowledge that could make our country very powerful, Dong Hyen replied. We should be asking her about weapons and ships, not teaching her to say That afternoon, Dr. Yoon arrived from the capital city. She was a government scientist with orders from very important people. She carried official papers that said Zara must be moved to a secure government facility. The child will be studied properly there, Dr. Yoon explained. We need to learn everything about her people and their technology. She has a name, So Young said angrily. Her name is Zara, and she is not a thing to be studied. Agent So Young, remember your place? Dr. Yoon warned. This is a matter of national security. That night, So Young sat with Zara in the cold room. Zara could sense that something was wrong. Are bad people coming? Zara asked. So Young did not want to lie. Some people want to take you away from us. They want to ask you many questions about your people and your home. Zara became very scared. I do not want to go. I want to stay with my I know, little star, So Young said, using the nickname she had given Zara. I do not want you to go either. Then we run away? Zara asked hopefully. So Young looked at this brave, intelligent child who had lost everything and was now facing more danger. In that moment, she made another decision that would change both their lives forever. Yes, she said firmly. Tomorrow we run away. Zara hugged her tightly. I love you, I love you too, little star, So Young whispered back. Outside the facility, Dong Hyen was making phone calls to people in other countries. He was selling information about Zara to the highest bidder. Soon, agents from many nations would come, looking for the alien child, but So Young did not know this yet. All she knew was that she would do anything to protect the child who had called her mother, even if it meant becoming a criminal, even if it meant running for the rest of their lives. The bond between them was now unbreakable, and tomorrow it would be tested in ways neither of them could imagine. The cold wind cut through the mountains like a knife. Snow fell heavy on the rocky ground as two figures moved carefully up the steep path. Han-woo pulled his jacket tighter around his body. Behind him, So Young checked her equipment one more time. Are you sure this is the right place? So Young asked. Her breath made white clouds in the freezing air. Hyun-woo looked at his GPS device. The coordinates match. The local people said they saw something fall from the sky 3 days ago. Something that made a bright light. They were EC agents. The Inter-Services Intelligence had sent them to check reports of a crashed meteorite. The government wanted to know if it was dangerous. Both agents had worked together for 2 years. Han-woo was older and more experienced. So-young was newer but very smart. She had studied medicine before joining the EC. The path became harder to walk. Ice covered the rocks. So-young slipped once but caught herself. "I hate mountain missions," she said. "Look there," Han-woo pointed ahead. "Something is wrong with that area." The snow looked different 50 meters away. It was darker. Steam rose from the ground like hot breath. As they got closer, they could see that the snow had melted in a perfect circle. In the center was a hole in the rocky ground. "That is not a meteorite crater," So-young said. She knelt down and touched the warm earth. "The temperature here is much higher than it should be." Han-woo took out his radio. "Base, this is Team 7. We found the crash site. Something is definitely here, but it is not what we expected." The voice on the radio crackled. "Team 7. Investigate and report. Do not touch anything until Dr. Ji-hoon arrives." They waited for 30 minutes. Dr. Ji-hoon came with 2 other soldiers. He was a thin man with glasses who worked for the military. Few people knew that he studied alien life in secret. The government paid him to research strange things that fell from space. "Show me what you found," Dr. Ji-hoon said. Hyun-woo led him to the crater. Dr. Ji-hoon took out several instruments and began to scan the area. His face became serious as he read the results. "This is not natural," he said quietly. "The energy readings are unlike anything I have seen before." "What do you mean?" So-young asked. Before Dr. Ji-hoon could answer, one of the soldiers called out, "Sir, there is something down here." They all rushed to the edge of the crater. At the bottom, partially buried in ice and rock, was something that made them all stop. Breathing, it looked like a large egg made of crystal. But it was not an egg. Through the clear surface, they could see something inside. "Is that a person?" So-young whispered. Dr. Ji-hoon slid down into the crater. He brushed away the ice and snow from the crystal shell. Inside was a small figure. It looked like a child, but the skin was pale blue. Silver hair floated around a small face. The child was not moving. "We need to get this out of here immediately," Dr. Ji-hoon said. His voice was shaking. "This is a life form, a living being." "Alien?" Han-woo asked. "Yes, and she is dying." It took them 2 hours to carefully remove the crystal pod from the crater. They loaded it onto a truck and drove to a secret facility in the mountains. The whole time, So-young could not stop looking at the small face inside the crystal. The child looked so peaceful, so innocent. She appeared to be sleeping, but her chest was not moving. Her skin was getting paler. At the facility, Dr. Ji-hoon worked quickly. He connected machines to the crystal pod. Numbers appeared on screens. His face became more worried with each reading. "Her body temperature is far below what any Earth creature could survive," he explained to Hyun-woo and So-young. "But for her species, this might be normal. The problem is that our atmosphere is too warm for her. She is overheating." "Overheating?" "But she looks frozen," So-young said. "Her people must live in much colder places. Our normal temperature is killing her slowly." Dr. Ji-hoon began to cool the room. He brought in special equipment to make the air colder. Slowly, very slowly, the child's skin began to look less pale. Captain Taemin arrived at the facility that evening. He was the commander of their ISI unit. He looked at the crystal pod and the alien child inside. His face was hard to read. "What are our orders?" Hyun-woo asked. "That is the problem," Captain Taemin said. "There are no orders for this situation. No one knows what to do with an alien child. We cannot just leave her here," So-young said. "She is just a baby." "She is not human," Captain Taemin replied. "The government will want to study her. Learn from her, find out where she came from and why." That night, something amazing happened. The child woke up. So Young was sitting next to the pod when the small eyes opened. They were beautiful, silver like her hair, but with tiny points of light inside them like stars. The child looked around, confused and scared. She tried to speak. The sounds were soft and musical, but in no language any of them had heard before. When she saw So Young watching her, she became quiet. Their eyes met through the crystal wall. So Young put her hand on the pod. The child inside lifted her small hand and placed it against the crystal, right where So Young's hand was. Even through the barrier, So Young felt something, a connection, a trust. "Hello, little one," So Young whispered. "You are safe now." The child tilted her head. She was listening, learning. Dr. Ji-hoon was excited. "She's incredibly intelligent. Look how she responds to voice and movement. She is trying to understand us." But Captain Taemin was worried. "Tomorrow, more people will come, scientists, military officers. They will want to take her away from us." So Young looked at the small alien child. She was so young, so helpless, so far from home and family. In that moment, So Young made a decision that would change everything. "No," she said firmly, "they will not take her. I will not let them." "So Young, be careful," Hyun-woo warned. "This is bigger than us. She is just a child," So Young said. "And she is scared and alone. That is all that matters to me." The alien child seemed to understand the emotion in So Young's voice. She smiled. It was a small, sad smile, but it was real. In that smile, So Young saw something that would haunt her forever. Hope. The child was hoping that these strange beings would help her. Outside the facility, snow continued to fall, but inside something warm was growing between a human woman and an alien child. Something that would soon challenge everything the ISI believed about duty, orders, and what it meant to protect the innocent. The discovery was complete. But the real story was just beginning.